I know what's right here.
Okay. Hey, I seen not last week, but the weeks before of our Sankofa presentation on a regular rotation of YouTube. And you have to look it up, and the motherfucker was just on the rotation.
Anybody viewing it?
I didn't check the views.
Fear.
Who said light don't come from pitch black? Who said one life can make an impact? Who said they rules can rule on our maps? Who said that? Who said that?
All this game come for free, don't worry. Money don't make you rich, don't worry. Smiling don't cost a thing, don't worry. Ain't no price on that shit. All this game come from you, don't worry. It's your voice and it's too, don't worry. Who else gon' speak the truth, don't worry. It's our time in this bitch.
The news say this is the sound of our society. Stress level high, it sound like your anxiety. People getting high, drugs come in variety. Cause pharmaceuticals, they gon' profit off of sobriety. The streets say this is the sound of our struggle. We live check to check, 9 to 5 hustle. Try fast money, the feds just might bust you. Everybody snitching, so nigga, we don't trust you. The youth say this the sound of confusion. Who left the God, the problem child to solutions. Daddy done left me, the old head's useless. And mama say I'm just like him, goddamn. The women say this sound like my frustration. Broke ass niggas, they ain't shit. I hate man, he better drop a bag, a purse, a vacation. Ain't no being faithful, fuck him and then replace him. The men say, don't this sound like bullshit? Want 6 figures from a nigga, but won't fuck a man below 6 feet if he ain't rich. Y'all too hard on a nigga, that's why life's a bitch. And we say this shit sound like an agenda. Sound the alarm, we tryna forewarn niggas. Pit me against you, what really is the issue? Good and evil, black and white, convince you. Rich and poor, gay and straight, offend you. Divide and conquer, that there's the mantra. They play both sides, all of our enemies sponsored. Amplified chaos, feel like the vibes way off. The savior is unity, we all coach contra. Lean into your conscience, think for yourself, cause false prophets, they can't help, they just profit. Look inside, you'll find the wealth they can't pocket. I said move, damn, let me speak. I got something to set you free. I got something that you can't find. I got that shit to blow your mind. I got something to make you move. Just that shit that make you break the rules. I got that shit the wrong nigga proof. And now it's all up to you.
Yo, my nigga, look, the baby need new shoes and the rep past due. Shit's getting harder every day, thank God we made it through. No me importa si no entiendes. If you don't understand, don't trip, de pa mi gente. Donde sea que estoy contigo, mira al frente. Sigue atente contra la corriente. Muchos se han ahogado en mi flow por accidente. Hay que tener fe, no te preocupes de las cosas de la vida que no puedes resolver. Habla con Dios, siempre está presente. No estás solo, eres suficiente. So you gotta have faith. No te preocupes de la gente de tu vida que no puedes entender. Todos no son amigos, solo pocos son fiel. Mira las cicatrices en mi piel. What else can I say?
Yeah, back to life. I came from sacrifice. Combat my vice. I rap on mics. I'm a afterlife. Still gonna be black as Christ. So don't cross me, cause he might feel. Had to take it back to basics. Brick by brick, my foundation. Like a drug. Love is the law of our creation. I follow the law, and that's what makes me a real nigga.
All this game come for free, don't worry. Money don't make you rich, don't worry. Smiling don't cost a thing, don't worry. Ain't no price on that shit. All this game come from you, don't worry. It's your voice in this too. Don't worry. Who else gonna speak the truth? Don't worry. It's our time in this bitch.
Who said light don't come from pitch black? Who said one life can't make an impact? Who said they rules can rule all our maps? Who said that? Who said that? Who said light don't come from pitch black? Who said one life can't make an impact? Who said they rules can rule all our maps? Who said that? Who said that?
With the unk.
Peace to the family, man. Hey, man, welcome back, fam. Welcome back. We back at y'all again. Welcome to Sankofa 180 degrees, family. Hey, listen, man. First Sunday every month. Let's talk about it. Children's book read, man. Very important, fam. Very, very important. Very important. We gotta participate. We got to participate. This stuff, boy, hey, the way it's going, fam, it's getting out there, man. And we're gonna have to fight it back, man. We have to counteract this. All right. They're taking this history out of school. They took it out, Black African history out of school, right? Made it illegal to teach it, right? Now they want to take our history out of the Smithsonian's, right? They don't want the history to be known, you know, and it's something with it. We gotta, hey, we know that it's very important that they hide our history. So it's more important for us to expose it. Expose as much of our history as we can possibly do, right? Because if we don't, what's gonna happen is my kids, I got kids that's 11 and 12. When they get 18, 19 years old, they're going to be on these computers or whatever devices they have. And their asses is going to be looking for if slavery even happened. What was slavery? See, by that time, they'd have been rewrote it and changed it all as to say that the slaves benefited from slavery, that they got skills from being a slave. So all I'm telling you is this, man. All I'm telling you is, by that time, our history would have been rewritten. See, right now we had plus 20 states that is participating in hiding this history and taking out books and banning books and all this kind of stuff, right? So we had 20 plus, and it's a state coming near you soon, right? Trust me, it's coming to you soon. All right. So all I'm saying is, with that being said, man, after probably about maybe another year or two, they're gonna come back and say, "Oh, that was unconstitutional. We can't ban no books. We're gonna put Black African history back in the schools, and here's the book." And the book is gonna be the history that they choose to teach their kids, and you can't be mad at it. So it's up to us to teach our kids. It's up to us. Can't be mad at what they teach their kids. That's their school system. All right. So it's up to us. We can't allow them. We can't depend on them to teach our kids Black African history. You can't. It ain't gonna work. It'll never work. You can't let white people or white school system teach your kids Black African history. You can't do it. It's not gonna ever work out, man. It's not gonna ever be correct. It's always gonna favor the conqueror. Always gonna favor the colonizer. Always. The history is gonna always favor the colonizer. I don't care how you look at it. All right. So, family, let's get to this, man. First Sunday every month, we banging. All right, for the kids. We banging for the kids, man. All right, we giving away books. We giving them away. Give you a book. We giving you books, good quality books. All right, you look on the back of them, like $20 or something like that. Whatever it is, we giving away books, man. Free of charge, man. All you gotta do is participate. We're gonna spin the wheel. If it lands on your name, you're gonna get a free book. Look at that, Queen Ya. How many? Look up Queen Ya, fam, as you looking at this live right now. Look up Queen Ya and just see who she was. I don't know if you ever even heard of her, but you need to know about her. Very important queen, right? Queen Azinga. I'm pretty sure you heard about her. If not, you need to learn about her. We got a lot of queens and kings and multi-geniuses and pharaohs and oh man, we got a lot going on, family. We need y'all to participate. Free books. We giving them away. All we need is your address. Don't cost you nothing. We don't need no cash app. You don't need no shipping and handling. You don't need nothing. All you need to do is participate. We ain't asked for nothing but some time and attention. All right. Hey, listen, man. And also Fridays, every Friday, we do open mic, 7 p.m. All is welcome. Come on in. Let's talk about it. Religion, politics, well, whatever you want to talk about. Let's roll. All right. Hey, peace to the family, man. What's going on? Unmute yourself, huh?
Let's get the rest of the panel in. What to do, Gerald?
Yeah, my bad.
What to do, Carrie?
Welcome to Sankofa 180 Degrees. This is where we learn the truth and back it up with proof. And what Jamie was saying is so true. And it's only going to get worse during this crap we're in right now with the orange gump, and that's sad. He is a racist, and he, that's what he's promoting. So, but anyway, welcome here, and like the music, and I was grooving on that first one, Jamie, that you played too, but that second one was some hard stuff. That was nice. But I love you guys and glad to be here, and I'm gonna sit here and listen and try to do some work while I'm listening. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
We see Gerald back. Peace to you, Gerald.
What to do? What to do? How y'all doing? Having me here. As always, getting into the information. You know, like we always do about this time. That's power, black love. Peace in heaven.
Right. Peace to you, E. Peace, E. Well, E might not be there, y'all. But anyway, peace to you, E. All right, you all right? You there?
I'm right here, okay? Man.
Oh, there you go. Peace to you, E. Peace to you, E.
What to do, E?
Hey, how y'all doing, man? I'm just moving around, man. My microphone's a little bad up. Can y'all hear me okay? Y'all right now?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right.
Glad you're here with us, E.
Just hollering at y'all. Peace. Yeah, bad signal, man, but I'm listening.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I sent you the song we played, E. So you didn't miss out on that.
That front garage if it does.
So we're gonna
go ahead. Hey man, listen, man. I just wanted to introduce y'all to my brother He as always, he always come with some boy. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna start calling you Mr. Controversy or something, man. I think something like that. Something like that, man. Or some close to that, man. We gotta come up with something, man. You like Mr. Shit starter. That's what we'll call you. We'll call you shit starter, man. Hey, but hey, man, that's my man Unc, man. Peace to you, King.
Hey man, you know it's all love, man. You know the information, man, and how it comes, man. You know, we had a discussion last week, man. We just gonna get it out there, right? So, anyways, we're gonna play a couple controversial videos for sure. We're gonna start with the master teacher, of kinetic science and history, and Dr. John Henry Clark, and then we'll go into
Okay.
Russell Meeks and a couple forums there. This ain't nothing new for the panel, but there's been pieces of the video that I'm going to show out there that people have been breaking up and shit like that. So I just got the whole skit. And then we're going to close out with Dr. James Small. So, and we'll talk in between. But
Really?
What if you were prepared for all those
can you hear that?
Yeah.
I bet.
interview curveballs?
Yeah, I just want to give respect to props to Transatlantic Productions too, and we got to put that out there, man. They put out some good information for us.
And we must remember that for most of the existence of man, the word God was not used. And yet, man had a great spirituality and a great affinity for the concept that man would later call God. Africa recognized that there was a spiritual force in the universe. He knew he could not make the rain, change the seasons. He could not make a hurricane, and he could not stop one. So he recognized that this force in the world was in charge, was a force bigger than himself. And he tried to bring man in harmony with nature, as against Western man, who often tries to defy nature. But he did not use the word God, and yet he recognized the spiritual force in the world that man would later call God.
Dr. Clark, I've often heard throughout the years that this word God is used in the English word language. Is actually the word dog spelled backwards.
Yes, and man was late in using it, and whether this is coincidental, I do not know, but it is somewhat ironical that that is the case, because the God concept that we know came out of the conference in Nicaea in Europe, 325 AD. But the spiritual concept was always there, recognized by the African, who thought that the spiritual force that ruled the universe was in everything that lives. Therefore, the African would meditate sometime before cutting down a tree, because a tree was a part of life. He only cut down what he needed, and he thought that the spiritual force of the universe was in the water, so he could stand by the water and meditate or pray, or in a tree, and he could stand by the tree or in himself, so he could meditate within himself. And so he did not need a church as such, and he did not need someone to intervene between himself and the spiritual force of the universe, because he thought that he was a part of that totality and he could communicate directly.
Dr. Clark, what
Right
is
there.
between religion and spirituality?
Religion is an art.
All of that, what he said, goes against Christianity.
Correct.
You don't need no mediator. The nature is one with the universe. You know what I'm saying? They always say, oh, the African are pray to a tree. He stupid. The African are, if Christianity is under Africa, we'll be praying the rock. We'll be praying the water. And not understanding, you know. No, we see the creator in all of that. You know, but everything he was saying is that we don't need no million. We don't need no mediator. Christianity would hate that. Like, we don't heal you, nigga.
Right, right.
Yeah. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, that's good insert, man.
Mm.
Anybody else want to say something on it?
No, he got it.
Okay.
Official bomb that came later when man organized spirituality into forms and denomination, into concepts. And each group tried to prove that their concept was the true concept and the one most entitled to prevail. Now you see hypocrisy entering spirituality and its meaning. Now, spirituality is the recognition of the spiritual force of the universe and the recognition of your relationship toward all living things and your responsibility toward all living things. I have examined a lot of African indigenous belief systems, and most of them are based on African spirituality as against religions. And see, spirituality, you do not discriminate. Your wife can belong to one version of it, you could belong to another, and there's no conflict between you based on that. And this was carried over into the United States because within my own family, I got nearly everything except the Catholic. I might have them now when I did have them in my growing up days, but we had Methodists and Holy Rollers and Sanctified people, although we were predominantly Baptists. We were predominantly Baptists, and even our best religious jokes were about the Methodists because they got sprinkled instead of being immersed in the water. See, with the coming of religion and denominations and churches and ministers, economics entered, commerce entered. To have a church, you got to have someone to build the church. The church has to be maintained. To have a preacher, he has to be maintained. So once commerce entered, the Bible, the religion became a money-making entity with all of its pretense of holiness. And it could not sustain itself without funds. So it became a fundraising gimmick. And I say that going away from spirituality, which is the recognition of all living things in their worth, when in religion, you give preference to your chosen denomination. And people who adhere to your chosen denomination, religion has a sense of prejudice throughout. In fact, All religions are violations of the God concept by dictionary definition. Because if you take the dictionary definition of God, God is kind, God is gracious, God is non-partisan, which is just the opposite of religions. A Catholic will not concede that a Protestant is right or can be right. That's ungodly. It certainly is. So when you deal with the ungodly nature of religion, the Protestant nature of religions, the partisan nature of religion, you can find out that religions violate, sometimes by their very being, the concept of God.
Eating too much salt causes hypertension.
All right, anybody want to share on that? Or you want to go to the next video? So what that portrayed to me is what traditionally what it was like and what happened. Now we're gonna move into you know what it was like not too long ago, and as I posed in the post, you know, how far have we come? Really, are we just using our innate interest in wanting change and seeing what's not realistic, and what can I realistically do to make a difference? So,
until you have another concept of what the trend is, and then you gonna know.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah. So Gerald said, Gerald said, until we have another concept, there ain't nothing we gonna do.
Yeah, and when he only talked about our concept. You really didn't get into it. You never really hardly get into what kinetic is. You almost gotta get into a class or study of somebody. It's almost like when you understand reality, I knew what the fuck I want to do. You know what I'm saying? If I want to meditate at 6 o'clock, I meditate at 6. I ain't gotta meditate at 9. You know what I'm saying? If I want to read literature, I don't have to wait till Sunday. I can do it every day. Ain't no one way of doing it unless you want to follow somebody. Following somebody turns it into religion. You go about a certain, this is what you gotta do to get to the Creator. That's not, it ain't no certain way. Your way is the way. We lazy.
Yeah, and like he said, we're trying to the westernized version is trying to conquer nature.
Well, the Bible, the scripture tell them that man was above nature, not with nature. So that's their concept of God from what their Lord told them. And you get another concept that say, you ain't no above no nature, you with nature. Then you get that bullshit out of your head.
That's right.
But you gotta have something else that say that. You know what I'm saying? That's the point I was saying. That's why you almost to reject Christianity don't mean shit until you learn what we was actually doing. That's a lifetime process. That's not easy as rejecting Christianity. Yeah, I can reject Christianity, but now I need to learn what we were doing. They used to say that took 40 goddamn years. It was a lifetime of learning. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's more He's telling us what is not, but he's not the fault never went into spirituality. Not the men, none of them never went into kinetic spirituality. Not even Anthony Marlon. That ain't what they
Not even
do.
after what?
Not even Anthony Marlon.
Oh, Anthony Browder. Okay.
Yeah, none of them went into it.
Right.
You gotta go into the Muana Ashley, and you gotta go into the
That's why crazy.
not really Oswald Crazy. The one who wrote Melanetta. Dang, I really learned.
You talking about Buds?
No, the one who wrote the book Melanetta Volume 1.
Oh.
I'm in what's his name? I'm in
Who wrote
trouble.
Melanetta, E? Who wrote Melanetta? What's the author?
Add cooking oil. The author? It will be the fuel. Hold on a minute. Let me get keeps the flame burning for hours. I don't know. I think here's the best part.
Hold on.
You can use new oil or reuse leftover oil from the kitchen. For a special touch, finish by adding a few drops of essence to the oil. Choose the scent that best suits you.
I got it right here. Hold on.
Eucalyptus for freshness, lavender
Ra'un Nefer Amen.
or citronella to
Ra'un Nefer Amen.
Yeah, Ra'un Nefer Amen.
Yeah.
Them the ones that really get into it. That's a whole different study right there.
one of those small,
Right.
simple ones you already have at home.
Right. Anybody else want to share on that?
The bottom of the disposable cup.
Huh?
This piece
Anybody else want to share on that?
Oh no, I'm good.
will turn this homemade lamp
Y'all got it.
long-lasting source of light.
Somebody volume up high, they meant wrong.
Right. So, oh yeah, let me go to this one.
Opposition to this bill, we don't see anything wrong with using Washington as our base to indicate support for this bill. And in my estimation, this march is going to be a 100% outpouring of the disgust and distress of Black Americans and white liberals over the way the Congress has handled this bill.
I think that in any such demonstration as the march, which is planned, you would expect loud outpouring of cries, of fears from many, many people who don't want it to take place, who are afraid that something might happen. But it seems to me that it reflects a lack of understanding of the nature of the times in which we are living. The fact that Negroes all over the country are concerned and are aroused and must express their feeling. They've waited 100 years, and that's too long to wait.
But what about white friends and liberals who have worked in these organizations for many years, who now say, look, let's not go this fast. Let's not...
We don't have people like that. I'm sorry. Our telephone is ringing with white people who want to get into the march.
We don't judge our friends on the basis of the color of their skin. We judge them on the basis of the fact of whether or not they are willing to go all the way with us. If they are not willing to go all the way, then they are not friends of ours.
Now, we've said that these are interracial organizations, but you five gentlemen are Negroes. You are assuming the leadership, and you are asking white liberals and white friends to go along with the Negro speaking for himself rather than speaking through white surrogate.
I would like to make this point because I think there is a misconception that any white people who happen to serve on your boards or committees are therefore automatically there to exercise control and restraint. This is not the experience of the Urban League. There are many white people who serve on our boards who are asking for more militancy. I speak for the National Urban League at their insistence, not at my demanding, because they feel that a Negro is best able to express the hopes and the longings of his people.
We ought to be clear that there is a desire on the part of Negroes for self-expression through leadership of civil rights organizations. This is important because Negroes have been denied that self-expression for so many years. But this does not mean in any sense of the word, as far as I'm concerned, that white persons who are sincere cannot participate and cooperate.
Exactly.
And I think it's very important to have this participation. I think it would be very dangerous and even tragic if the struggle in the United States for civil rights degenerated to a racial struggle of blacks against whites, so to speak.
Amen.
It is a tension between justice and injustice, and we enlist consciences in the struggle. We appreciate the participation in this movement of white persons of goodwill, and we have many of them, fortunately, and I think the numbers growing every day, and this helps to keep the struggle on the level that it should be on.
Sure. As far as I can understand you, gentlemen.
Okay, so you guys see why I played that in just a minute. Man, my dad worked at, he was a AME, Trinity AME preacher, minister, reverend, I mean, and he worked for the United Negro League. Jamie, you remember there was a building in front of Main Street School, or on the side of Main Street School, and that was the Legion building. And
Oh, yeah.
that was the National Negro League office.
Okay.
Yeah, my biological dad worked for that, and he was the Trinity AME minister over on Holmes Road, by Waverly. Okay, so let's get to this next one. So remember, this is years ago, man. And I posed the thought, what has really changed, or is my innate ability to want to claim change and see change, and why do I stand up for it if it is there or not, things like that. It's all in play. And how far have we come? And you see that they named that the eloquent civil rights leaders speaking, right? Had to put a name on it, right? They had to pick the good talking ones, right? They might as well have put Andrew Young up on there too, from Atlanta, right?
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, they was playing with bullshit back then too. All right, so now we're gonna get into, you guys have seen clips of these two, I'm sure. We're just gonna jump into it, and you'll see why I played this.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, you can guest a guest.
1,000 years ago, there was a Greek philosopher who said that those who do injustice, 1,000 years ago, there was a Greek philosopher who said that those who do injustice are more harmed than those who receive injustice. And anybody who marched into those white neighborhoods last fall would know from the looks of the hatred and the fear on the white people's faces that they have been more harmed by the way they have treated the Negro race than the Negroes, as badly as they have been harmed, have been treated. And I think that the white...
So did you catch that? All right. I'm just going to back that up, and then we can proceed.
Years ago, there was a Greek philosopher who said that those who do injustice are more harmed than those who receive injustice. And anybody who marched into those white neighborhoods last fall would know from the looks of the hatred and the fear on the white people's faces that they have been more harmed by the way they have treated the Negro race than the Negroes, as badly as they have been harmed, have been treated. And I think that the white race in this country needs this revolution even more than the Negro race needs it.
Well, go right ahead, ma'am. Yes.
This is Elmer Lazar, and my husband and I are 100% for the Negro. I want to state that. In fact, when people say, would you like to have a Negro live next door to you? I said he has the perfect right to.
Do you have a Negro next door to you?
No, not yet, but I mean, I would really not mind it.
Yes, sure.
However, and I am for the Negro. I want to see him get ahead. But now, in regard to what this gentleman said, where is this Negro going to purchase his needs? Get his needs. All right, fine. All right, I want to address another remark to Mr. Meeks. Many of my friends have been for the Negro, but ever since this violence started, they have turned against him. How do you go about not alienating the white man who has been for you
We don't
through
care.
violence?
We don't care. For 400 years, they have murdered, burned, raped, castrated, and tortured. I give less than a hootenanny what any white person thinks about this black man is.
Well, but don't you want us to be with
I don't want you to do anything but leave us alone.
We
don't need you.
But I mean moral support. I don't mean do anything for you, but...
Look in your own neighborhood with the white people. They need the morality. We don't.
stood up for the Negro, and now they say, well, now when they resort to violence, we are not with them.
Violence.
Well, I mean, in some of these riot areas.
Well, riot areas. You're talking about we resort to violence when I talked to a reporter for Newsweek who told of National Guardsmen shooting down people in the back. Understand? As they're walking down the street minding their business, shooting out of a machine gun. Now, wait, but listen, you said about violence. Yeah, I get sick in my stomach when I hear a white person talk about violence. You're the most violent people in the world. You were born on it. You live on it. You're sick with it. You're saturated with it. We have been the most peaceable, law-abiding fools the world has ever seen.
Well, perhaps our media of communication is.
Hey, stop it right there.
Of course it is. We don't want you to love us.
See, that's that play right there. That's that play that you've been so violent all throughout history. Since you came on the scene, you've been violent. And somehow, some way, you've managed to flip the script on us, saying that we violent. See, no one ever like when Oklahoma, you know, when Black Wall Street was going on. See, them brothers and sisters was minding their business. See, white folks came to that city. Ain't no black folks go to that go fucking with them. They were minding their own business, thriving on their own. Didn't need nothing from the white folks. But see, but being that you seen that, and a lot of people were struggling, a lot of white folks were struggling and seeing these people that just got out of slavery. 50, what was it? 50 something years? How many was it? They only been out of slavery for what, 1920? What we got it out of 1865, right? So, right. So you talking about a short amount of time for people that got when you got released off of slavery, out of slavery, you didn't have nothing. All you had was your walking papers. You didn't have nothing. And for you to come and thrive like that in 1920, this was towards the end of Black Wall Street. So, you know, they had been thriving before 1920. 1920 was a time where they got the massacre happened, but they had been thriving before that. So for us for them to show that they come from absolutely nothing. I'm talking about when you say from the mud, that's really from the mud. Right? Yeah, that's from the mud, King. Right. And then you rise up and have a community like or a city like Black Wall Street. Nah, man, they wasn't taking that, just like all the rest of them. Just like all the rest of them, man. The Greenboro, all of them. Every last one of them. Every last one of the cities that we've had that was thriving like no other. They came and burned it down, shot it up, dropped bombs. They did it all. Right? So, yeah. No, what it is, you know, they know that you ain't got to give us nothing. We're going to come up. We've been like that. That's why when it comes to these recessions and depressions and whatever else you want to call it, we've been in that shit all our lives. It don't affect us like it affect them when they get to commit suicide and all this other stuff when they came, you know, when they get a little rough. See, it's been rough for us all along. You know what I'm saying? And so we've always survived, King. So all I'm saying is, when it comes to this, you know, when they talking about we violent, you know, all we doing is see, it's violence when you violent when you protect yourself. You're a violent person. Despite what caused you to protect yourself, they don't care about what caused you to protect yourself. It's when you twist his ass up, and then he laid down there leaking, and now you violent. It ain't about what caused you to do that. You know what I'm talking about? Like, so I'm just saying, man, so it always ends up that we're the violent people, but we ain't never enslaved the whole people, a whole nation of people. We ain't never tried to genocide a nation of people, right? We ain't never tried, right? So I'm not understanding. We ain't never raped and pillaged a civilization. We ain't never go in there and castrate and uh, uh, kick babies' heads off. You know what I'm saying? We didn't sell people. We didn't do none of that. All that was done to us. But we the violent people. Make that make sense, man. We the violent people. Wow. That's back then, and that's today. You see how it is? It hasn't changed. That shit hasn't changed. That mindset hasn't changed. All the way back then, all the way to today, 2025. That's crazy, King. That's crazy. You can evolve from everything else except reality, man. You cannot face reality. People do not want to deal with reality. That's why they take the history out. They don't want to deal with reality. They don't want to deal with it, man. Go ahead, man. I'm done.
No, that's good, man. So I want to suggest to the panel that you express yourself eloquently and leave that aggression. No, I'm fucking with you, man. Yeah, we get it on in Sankofa, baby. And then this is built to amp somebody up. So, thanks for sharing, Jim. Go ahead,
It's a loud whistle.
Say it again.
Violence is a loud whistle.
Right.
Right.
This is racism, just like they said, illegal now to mess with the Hispanics. So when you say certain things, that's a whistle to racist people. They hear that. All they hear is violence. All they hear is illegal. And they respond according to that. But it ain't got nothing to do with reality. So you already hit on that. The only thing with that is what most people will say is when he went off on her, he should not have been going off on her. You know what I'm saying? But she did slip in that violence. You know what I'm saying? She did slip that in. And she know now not to say it, but you say that for the men, you know. You say that for the men who be talking all that shit, you know. But other than that, it was on point.
Gary?
I'm good. I'm listening.
What you feeling like over
Yeah,
there?
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Thank you, though.
Gary don't like this shit.
Well, his bottom line, what he's trying to say without saying it is, black people don't fight. We already in the fight. It's going against us. So some of us gonna lay down, some of us gonna up and down, gonna mock land, and some people gonna fight back. You with me?
Right.
Now, white people saying, well, we want to help you. What he said is, you don't talk to the white people. You only really stepping up because I'm stepping up and you want to meet with me. I'm already fighting that. You know what I'm saying? But if a white person challenge another white person on that same issue, that white person will kill him. He'll call him a nigger mama, he'll call him all that now, you know what I'm saying? You know, all that now. So he'll call him a traitor. So white people don't really want to face off with other white people like that. They'll do it when black people doing it. You with me? But they won't just fight white against white. It's some of them going to do it now. You know? some of them, what they label, which ain't no real thing, is Antifa. Some of them white boys are fighting about them. They don't need no black people with them. You know what I'm saying? They just don't pay it no more. But back in the day, white people would meet with black people. And some black people would say, no, we got this. Go face them in your own community. You know? And if they did that, most likely they were going to get a software in their goddamn yard. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It
right.
ain't gonna be on. You know, so
Right.
yeah.
You want to say anything on that? On any of it?
Good, bro. Thank you.
Okay. I thought I found it real, and just one of the points like at the beginning when she said that the people that inflict the violence are affected more than the people that receive the violence. I think that's a topic of discussion sometime one day.
I think that that's some. I think that that's some. That, I think that that's. You got to be out of your damn mind to think that. That's what I got. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think that you got to be straight up, just straight delusional to think some shit like that, man. Yeah, how I know. Yeah, okay. So right. Let's try that theory out then. Right. Let me whoop your ass for about 2 weeks straight. And see every time I raise my hand, your ass don't duck.
Right. Right. You see who's affected more. She said that she could see on the she didn't use this word, on the oppressors' faces that they was hurting more than the people that they hurt.
Yeah, like
Hey,
no,
she
what
was
no,
stout. Hey, she
no.
was stout about that shit too.
Yeah, no. What you see with the look on the faces was a look of fear. That wasn't no damn. Get out of here, man.
Yeah.
Look at that, man. This is what I'm saying. That's the delusion that these people is trying to push on you. Well, it was worse on us than it was you. How? Nigga, you still at home. You ain't had to do no work. All your work was being done for you.
Right.
You had to clean nothing. You had to even watch your own kids.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that.
So no, man. So explain. You have to explain that. You would have to explain that, man. There's no way that you could think that and be sane, King. You can't be in your right mind and really believe that, man.
But one thing is for sure, man. They know that they got a hell of a hole to come up out of, to restore any semblance of humanity, right? So, uh, that's a hell of a hole.
Man,
But it
you
still
talking
don't
about
compare.
you
Still don't
talking about
compare to the ass whooping that we took.
you
The
talking about
degradation
that
that we took.
you talking about the people that ain't even humane. How the hell they gonna do that?
Right, right,
They
right.
they listen, man.
He
They
said
are
they
a
can't even
war.
come up out of it.
They are they come from a war culture. They got a war god. They follow a war god. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we said this over, man. Anytime you come from an area where you can't grow no food and you ain't got no animals running through there, you know what I'm saying? All cold region. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. Your only thing you know is how to survive and take. That's all you know, man. Because otherwise you're gonna die, right? So nah, man.
It's just crazy how deep seated that shit is, man. On both sides, right? We were affected, but this shit don't compare to ours. It ain't even the same. Can't even be categorized as the same. Let's get some more of this.
Properly through the press. The heck with the press.
Right here and now, the track.
Nobody loves the rap state, the leader. But they won't report it truthfully.
Well, perhaps that's it.
They won't show it all the black folks shot were shot above the shoulders.
Well, Mr. Meek, here is a lady who is obviously a liberal and wants to help you.
I never listened to liberal.
You call yourself a liberal?
This is a dilemma
I
that
mean,
a lot of
the
people have.
conservatorial people, the Negroes, everybody.
But the
I mean, there's nothing I can do.
People don't listen.
And there's no white liberals, they're only black people.
No, show me. We want some white John Brown. All the white John Brown stand up in here. All the white John Brown. They go down with us. All the white John Brown are now standing up. That's good.
There are many people. Look at a Negro. Look at him with disdain and disgust.
We don't care.
We don't care.
When our babies die, as Mr. Lucas just talked about, black babies starving to death, and you talk about looking at us with disdain and disgust while you barbarian murderers? How can you sit and talk with us?
This is not all right, man.
Well, that's your problem. I'm not going to go down with a meter asking you what kind of white person you are.
There is
How about this
one
way here?
person in this room.
Boy had to get up out of there.
We all, from all over the world, we have come here. This is the greatest country in the world. It is for every person that's in it. Every college student. You think you've been mistreated? Look how the Indians were mistreated. That were here at the beginning. They're all part of each other. And as we become true Americans, this is true America. We will all be one. The problem here, we're all off on a tangent. The problem here is not who loves who and who hates who. That is irrelevant, lady. With all due respect to you, if your daughter wanted to marry a gorilla, that's her business. That's not the problem. Marry a white man in the next few months. No. No, I've been integrated. I've been integrated all I need to be integrated. I've got these freckles and these red hair as a result of the rape that took place on my great-grandmother in Mississippi. I don't want any more integration. I don't need it. I don't need it. Man, I'm mad with the black. I can bring some little black babies in the world. And they will bring not black children. What a white man to rape me. He's not going to rape you. He's going to marry you. You are going to be his honored wife. This is America. That's the problem with white America today. We are sex is on your mind. We are what is destroying white America, lady? You have talked since you come on this program about your lovely daughter marrying other man.
Wait a minute.
Sex is not the problem. Economic.
So I'm going to play another video, and it's going to talk about what she's talking about. Her daughter, this lady's daughter, and her husband that she's addressing. Right?
Politics, culture, what made America. They came from ladies. I don't want
Folks, please, just finish yourself up. What would you like to say? Go
The
ahead.
Salvation Army has met votes of every immigrant, every country of the world. They have given them money to start out here in this country to help themselves become better, because this is a free country.
All right, fine. Now, what would you say to that? Ma'am, you wanted to respond.
I just
Finish
want to respond
Go ahead.
and say this, that integration isn't the problem. The problem is how the Negro can become a man.
Right.
So long the black man has been emasculated. Now he wants to become a man, just as you. The black woman wants to be a woman on her own 2 feet, not because she's sexually attracted to a white man. Now what Core has said, and what I want, and I think what all black people want, is to have the equality that the Constitution says all men have.
Gentleman in the back row.
My name is Russell Davis. I'm a student of political science. This afternoon, Mr. Meeks has said that he's not afraid of alienating white America. The young lady from Winnetka has stated that she saw during the marches which she participated in people who were full of fear, hatred. Mr. Lucas has said that the American Negro is either going to be free or he's going to be dead. My question is this: if the violence continues, aren't you, Mr. Meeks, and you, Mr. Lucas, afraid that it's going to be the second alternative?
Can I answer that?
Mr. Meeks, quickly.
Yeah, let me answer this gentleman.
You know, it's very hard to say what you want to say when after you've said it, somebody gets some answer you haven't been talking. But you know what, young white fellow? I got a son in the 101st Airborne that you're going to kill, probably, because he's going to Vietnam. I got a nephew just came back from Korea. There's wounded 3 times. The first thing happened, he went home, but a cop beat the hell out of him with a pistol butt. Now, you get this straight. You can kill all the black folks you want to, baby, but you will not kill the freedom of black folks. It's coming. We're going to get it. You think you're so indestructible. You think you're so great because you got all these weapons. I remember Mao Zedong once said he wondered where he'd get his weapons from. And then we armed Chiang Kai-shek. And he said, thank you, Jesus. He said, so don't misunderstand us, baby. We're dead serious. This country was founded on revolution. Those little settlers out there in the northeast section of this country had some muskets and some sticks and some stones. And they whipped the mighty professional British Army, baby. And 5,000 of them were black, and one black woman disguised herself as a man and fought with you all. And we don't have our freedom yet. We fought in every one of your damn lousy wars, baby, and you give us nothing. Now the war is going to be here because we're going to be free. Now you kill all you want to, but we kill too. And we don't frighten. We don't frighten at all. You want to know what in the hell a ghetto was like?
Hey, now he put that down right there, boy. What? What? Hey, we killed too. No.
And I knew you was gonna love that part, boy. King, I'm sorry, the other boy, it's King. Yeah. So controversial shit, man. You know how far have we come? All right. Anybody want to say anything for this next one? So it's gonna smooth out. It's gonna smooth out after this video. This one is hype. I started to put one in between it and but I'm not. Just gonna go with the flow. Anybody want to say something before I start the other one?
You only able to speak like that if you know your history. If he didn't know his history, he couldn't need that. No way, no how.
Right.
You gotta know your history. You gotta know what the people are meant to.
Yeah, and the posed question was directed at the black people's violence. If you're going to continue to be violent, where are you going to be at? And he just flipped it right back on the violence that was incurred on from the white people, from the United States, from the government. All right. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Hey, to be back in that time, man, and that time, that had to be really, really, really rough, man. That had to be hard as hell, man. To just, man, not to just trip out on their ass, man, every chance you got. I mean, straight up, man. Every chance you got, that just had to be hard because you seeing this shit in real time, King, where they abusing black folks, man, kids, and you know what I'm saying. You right there, man. You watching this shit, and you like this brother. He at these forums and he's speaking and he's he asking questions. Uh, what I'm saying? And I'm sure they out there marching and protesting and that just had to be that, what I'm saying? That just just like he said, his nephew got out the motherfucking got out the service, man, and got beat up real bad, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that had to be real hard, man, to be able to just sit there and not trip out like I said, man, like, oh man, I probably, I'm telling you, man, I don't know if I would have made it back then, man. They'd probably killed my ass. They'd have killed my ass, man. They'd have probably made a motherfucking example out of my ass too. But I'm
So
I know it, man.
It goes to my question then. What has changed, Jamie, that you can that you stand on rightfully making a distinction between then and now? What's changed? What moves you? What moves you? I'm trying to get the right word. Give me just a second. What has inspired that is different for you?
For me?
What for us, us, for you to make it a distinction between it's worse back then. I can't imagine facing it then and actually facing it now. What has inspired the distinction for you, the difference? To say that they had it rougher than what we have it now. Now, I'm not arguing or anything. I'm just asking. That's that question that I put up there.
But because then, you know, you didn't have it.
What is it that we didn't have that they didn't have that we have now? Or what is it that?
It might be. It's just like.
See what it is fucking confusion.
It's just like it's like it's. I don't know, man. It's like. Think about that for a second.
Yeah, because the next thing I said was we have the innate interest. That means the intrinsic inside interest, right? To be optimistic.
I think it's confidence.
Some fucking way.
I think it's.
Hold up. Go. Let me finish with James.
I think some of it has to do with confidence now than it was then. I mean, now
confidence of what? Confidence of what?
Confidence in yourself. I mean, where your ability to protect yourself. Like nowadays, like before, man, you wouldn't even look at a white dude in their eyes. You couldn't even look them you couldn't look them eye to eye. So, and you know what I'm saying? So now it's more like, I wish a motherfucker would now. You know what I'm saying?
What are the provisions that provide that? What are the provisions that
provide
you see
what?
that give you that confidence that they didn't have back then?
I think because I think we got the same kind of guns they got now. You got motherfuckers that is bitter. You got a lot of people that's bitter, and especially when it comes to white people, a lot of black people are bitter. They, you know what I'm saying, as it, you know, and rightfully so. I mean, that's a no-brainer, but I'm just saying, knowing the history. So, and then you always got the motherfuckers like we saying now. If I was back in them days, I wouldn't have made it, or I'd have been in prison, or I've been dead, or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Probably most likely dead, right? That's what I'm saying. That I think it's a lot to do with that, man. And we're not in fear as much as we was back then. We don't fear them.
Yeah, why not? Why don't we fear that? Why don't we fear?
We don't fear because, like I said, we know that
self.
Well, and not only that, I mean, just overall, I don't know, man. Just overall, man, we're more athletic than them. So yeah, so it's like
we were more athletic than them then.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you confidence again. There you go. You had to have that confidence, and then you had to get rid of that fear. You had to get rid of that fear, man, that Big Mama put in you about these people. Right? If you want to live, this is how you. This is, you don't look them in the eye. You don't whoop, yes sir, no sir. Right? Whoop. That's how you make it home tonight. Right? That's how you make it home tonight. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. So that had a lot to do with it. A whole lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Even the conversation that you have with your kids now, and on how to deal with the police if you ever encounter them. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that conversation with your child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they had that conversation then.
Like I said, yeah, again, we dealing with fear, we dealing with confidence, we dealing with what Big Mama put in us. So now we dealing with indoctrination, we dealing with the fear factor, and we dealing with your confidence. With all that shit, you can't have too much damn confidence, King. Where your confidence gonna come from, right? So that's that, man. That's what I said. That's what I think. I think that's what a lot of it had to do with it. And like you said, knowledge yourself. Finding out your history, the history behind that.
Yeah, because it wasn't available. It wasn't available then, right?
Well, they knew
They beat the shit out of you. You talking to that shit. I'm just imagining, from
No,
all the
they
studies
knew
that you've done.
shit. They knew more then than we do now. Shit. Matter of fact, if you think about it, look at it. I mean, just look at the Black Panthers, man. I mean, they were well known. Now you ask these youngsters, man, and they just something they heard about. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So that's it's yeah, man. It's a lot to this shit, man.
Go ahead, Gerald.
I said it was more, everything was more tangible then. But we had to fight to change the laws. All of it is law.
Everything was what? Everything was what then?
Law.
Law.
Change the law.
Yeah, so we had to fight through everything to change the law.
Right.
That's what it is. Anything that we walk around free now, somebody had to die, we had to change that law. Do whatever we had to do.
Okay. Hold on just a second. So we're doing the same goddamn thing now, but that's gonna be that way because it's the government, all that kind of shit. We gotta make new laws, break new laws, break old laws, all that kind of shit. But specifically, what's different that you talking about that we're dealing or not dealing with today?
Because I'm gonna tell you another thing. Let me just add this to it, and then I'm done. Let me add this, and then I'm done. And because the brothers and sisters back then were to me, more unified than we are today. We are more individualized. Where like, goddamn it, I ain't buying that shit. Right? Like you have more brothers and sisters coming together. With the freedom fighters, with the Black Panthers, right. You had a lot of different groups coming together.
So more accessibility to each other than they had back then.
And to the information, because they was on it. They was on it. They was on it. George Jackson, they was all on it, man. Right? Assata Shakur. Yeah, they was on it, man. They knew they knew themselves, King. They was on it and they was pushing it. They had a lot of people that was listening, man. Now we don't have that, man. It's more individualized than it was like back then. So go ahead. I'm done with that. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
That's good. Go ahead, Gerald.
It's all based off the law. Whatever law we don't like or whatever, we fight against it. And the last one was the civil rights. When they passed the civil rights.
Civil rights, right, okay.
Yeah, that's what all that in the civil rights movement was to get that meal pass. You with me?
Right.
So them people who was right then, they know a bit different. You know what I'm saying? Before the civil rights meal, we were second class citizens. We were living under Jim Crow. You couldn't go where you wanted to go. You go to black only. They were fighting for all that. So when that was passed and all that now, people who grew up now, I don't know nothing about Jim Crow. I went wherever the fuck I wanted to go. I don't know nothing about not going where I want to go. So of course this thing can happen.
That's right.
But yeah. Every law we know we're fighting. So what everybody mad at Trump now is Trump them trying to take the laws back from the people that our people fought for. He's trying to make it like bullshit again. You with me?
Right.
And we already done talked for that. So, yeah, of course, change done happened. You know what I'm saying? Simply because we ain't in Jim Crow no more. A black man can go where he want to go. A white man can't tell him to get off the sidewalk and none of that stupid shit no more. But we had to march up and down, did all that until the president say no more segregation. Nowhere in America. So after that, it took a while for them to realize it. Now we got the Black Panthers, them fighting in the school, and people were still saying, fuck that, you ain't going to my school. We had to fight for that. White people really didn't agree, they moved to the suburbs.
Yeah.
Then when black people started moving to the suburbs, they started moving in native communities. You know? So, but we still basically know where we want to go. So that's the difference in change. That we know anybody that know that was living in Jim Crow, they know it's a change. They definitely know. They children can go to any school they want. They children can go. They children can marry them. Before that, no, it was gonna be some problems. So that's what I'm saying, the law. And any laws that they fucking with us now, then we gotta fight back. You know. We had a black president. They never would have thought we would have had that. Hell no.
Right.
Hell fucking no. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now some people
Exactly.
think the black president was supposed to make the country black. No, y'all out of your fucking mind. But to have a black president, and you don't think it's right, come on, man. You
Yeah,
know?
when Jesse Jackson ran, we knew we didn't have a chance, right? But when Barack stepped on the scene, I was like, oh shit, that shit,
Yeah,
shit is looking real,
right.
right?
Right. You know, all ahead, you know.
Colin Powell was going to run. He may
Right.
have. I'm not sure.
And we came to get Shirley Chisholm, the first black woman to run. The
Exactly.
first,
Yeah.
yeah.
You want to share? You done it? You done, Gerald? If not, my bad.
Well, when all that we let them do what we want to do, right?
Right.
When Trump in, right? And then I always talk about rules, right? Trump changed the rules, and Charlie Kirkland was talking about affirmative action and DEI.
Right. DEI.
Yeah, that's supposed to restrict black people. You with me?
Right.
Them rule changes or the law changes in order for to restrict black people from doing to the union. And that's what we started to fight for again and whatnot. So that's all it is. It's the law that motherfuckers be doing. You know? At one time, slavery wasn't the law. It was the rule. We had to fight for it not the other day. It wasn't the law. It was the rule. Yeah.
Right.
So, in the other one, when that lady was saying about violence, right? If I'm trying to get my freedom, you can't tell me shit about violence.
Right.
Ain't no way you can tell me if you stopping me from my freedom. If you stopping me or in putting any infringement on my rights, you can't talk about violence. That's what America was made off of. Y'all saying when the other white man was defending y'all right. Y'all went to motherfucking war. So don't never talk about no violence and independence and all that. When y'all independent and all the fireworks that we blow up, no, there was bombs going off. There wasn't no motherfucking fireworks. There was bombs and guns and war, motherfucker. That y'all celebrate now with fireworks. That was war.
Right.
Y'all declared war on y'all nanny. Y'all didn't say, let's talk it out. Y'all declared war. So be quiet. So when y'all doing something to us, and we decide, at first we don't never take our lives. We try to talk it out. Please give us this. Let's talk about that. Please do this. Then when, like now on this, my motherfucking enemy is necessary. Fuck you. My enemy is necessary. Till I get what I want.
That's
No.
right. All means that you damn right.
Don't tell me how my way if you got your foot on my neck.
That's
Don't
right.
tell me what to do to get my foot off my motherfucking neck. Fuck you.
Right, right. So, hey, Eve, you want to share something?
No, y'all doing real good, man. I'm just moving back and forth, man.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to say, you know, that once again, that lady at the beginning, she said that the oppressors are affected more than the oppressed. And so I'll just give you this scenario. And the ripple effect that takes place from, you know, like you know, the ancestors, right?
Well, when you
How far?
understand law and justice, if you do something to somebody, you gotta repay it back and what the matter from. So all that feeling guilty and all, you gotta go to jail. A motherfucker might kill somebody and sit there and say, oh, I'm sorry I did it. No, nigga, take your motherfucking ass to jail. Or I might kill you.
Right.
Eye for an eye. Ain't no just feeling mad.
And so you
What the
picture
fuck
this.
you mean? That ain't my yacht. No, you gotta be retribution. That's what reparation is. You gotta repair what you did to somebody. Not just them feeling mad. If you feel mad, give me my motherfucking land back.
Right.
What do you mean you feel mad? What that mean?
Right.
So? They look scared. What so?
Yeah, and that ripple effect of fear, man. So it shows like this. You know, we're walking down the street. We just walking with our swag, man, and these motherfuckers shook as shit. All right? They shook as shit across the street. That's that ripple effect. They ain't even doing nothing wrong. We ain't doing nothing to them. They ain't doing nothing wrong to us, but they shook, right? The evidence is, boom, Trayvon Martin gets blasted, right? You know, on some uh wrong angle shit, man. You know, that motherfucker was after him and shit, but he wants to play like he was in fear of his life because a little kid with a hood, right? And so, you know, just that, man. Ain't nobody got to be doing nothing, but that ripple effect flows through them motherfuckers and they get shook like shit, right? And then their response is, you know, barbaric or call the fucking police, right? You know, and then what we do is, you know, we either got to defend ourselves or we got to just keep it moving, you know, same kind of shit. So I'm just still, you know, weighing in contrast and what's reality and shit like that, you know, of, you know, what's changed, you know. I hear the changes. Those are the changes that you guys brought up are, you know, I mean, everybody knows that, you know what I mean? Uh, Good point, great points. But nevertheless, you know, what the fuck has changed? You know, I personally think without asking the questions over and over and not giving my view of it is, I just think it's dressed up differently. We've become so modernized to the in contrast to, you know, the beginning and where we come from and stuff and what little they had to work with and all that kind of stuff and then adapting to modern times and stuff like that. I don't think the shit's no damn different. I see the changes that have taken place to give us that we have the freedoms, but we still locked down in other areas. And I think it's just an extension of uh, of the cycle that goes around. So I don't personally, as a whole, as what's word am I trying to use? I just think a little bit, you know, more abstract and um, try to find the reality, man. And then, you know, there again, you know, that innate ability, that intrinsic ability to survive and see the optimistic growth we made so that we don't have to stay negative. Well, that's just a westernized description of the word to me. And I mean, just move, man. We just keep it moving, and still oppressed, and these motherfuckers are still stuck in their little white shit. You know what I mean? White supremacy, you know. Um, so that's just my view without waiting till the end.
Yeah, we just gotta understand, man, that you know, we
You can't, you can suppress something for so long, but it's gonna mean what it's gonna mean. We don't mean who we don't mean. We not at the bottom, we at the top.
Right.
You can try to hold us down for a little while, but we don't make up out of anything you put us in. It don't matter.
And
And
that's
that's
what
who
that's
we
what
are.
that's what this aspect of know thyself and our comedic studies, stuff like that, our culture, the history,
that's it.
all that kind of shit, man. That's what makes the difference,
That's
right?
it.
I
That's
mean,
it.
I mean that's what makes the difference. It isn't just some idealistic thing of I've got to overcome and we shall overcome and by all means necessary and all this shit. No, I'm talking about real solid hardcore boom shit, right? And that's what we do here on Sankofa, and I'm really thankful for that. That's where I can realistically settle instead of putting a mask of of just of optimism, right? I know who the fuck I am. I don't really need to tell nobody shit, right? Prior to, I'm gonna have to remind your ass, goddamn it. Now I just do it because I'm sick of your shit.
I'm just saying a lot more
Right.
people had knowledge of self back then to me. To me, a lot more people was more active. They was more into to the movement. They was into the movement because it was they like Gerald said, it was fighting for rights, man. So a lot of more people was involved in the movement. We don't have too many movements
Right.
right now. Other, what I'm saying? I mean, we gotta get to, I mean, we do, but people like how many people know about them?
It was really they was really desperate back then, man. And
Oh,
that's another key factor that just poked out, is
they all was one. And one no, you
okay,
couldn't
yeah,
be nothing
same
but
shit.
black. Yeah, you
Yeah,
couldn't be
same
nothing
shit.
but black. Once we won the right, then the black motherfucker can be who he wanted to be. He
Them
don't
motherfuckers
matter
knew.
with black no more. That's that's somebody else got to hit. Or I ain't poor no more. You know what I'm saying? It went that type of way. What what them hardcore people won, the white black people to do, then like I say, a lot of black people moved away from other black people, don't want to fuck with black people no more.
Right,
They
right.
would have that right before then. But I mean, there's no right to do it, but that's where the violence went. Because we didn't have to be together no more. Back then, that you know I'm talking about men and stuff. We had to live among each other. So we had more black men in this. We had black everything. We had it going on then.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had to. It wasn't no other way. But
Right. That's
once
what
we
I'm
had a
talking about.
chance not to, we said, I don't want to be around. And some of them are like that, I don't want to be around them now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
See, right now is the time that we supposed to be coming together right now
Like
because
that. Like that.
because listen, man, because they done declare war on us again. Not, what I'm saying, not, like I said, man, like, um, this, we got we got we got this brother talking about they can't get their food stamps next month. Like, this is the kind of shit, man, that we need to be standing up again. That people need to be standing up on. They need to stand up, man. Stand up, hey, man, I mean, refusing to go to work Hey, that can shut a lot of shit down, man. That can do a lot of damage. If people shut your city down, you know what I'm saying? The city shut down. People just say, man, we ain't going to work. Ain't nobody going to work. Ain't nobody going to work today.
Hey, but folk gonna get hungry and got to eat, and they gonna go get their grub.
I'm just
Somebody
saying,
coming
man.
up off some shit.
You're already hungry. Shit, they already, listen, man, they ain't finna get their food stamps next month. I don't know how long that's going. I mean, it ain't funny, but I don't know how long that's gonna last, man. And so that's just, then listen, man, a lot of this stuff be little tests to see how the reaction of the American people. Hey, we see we can do this shit, and we see how just see how they react. If they clown too damn much, we cut it back on. They'll calm down. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I mean, it's a lot of stuff just like this military in the streets. This is just a test to see how American people take it, right? And so before you know it, it's gonna be a regular thing. It's gonna be like going to Mexico where you see that military on the street.
Man, don't you know, man?
You feel me? So I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just saying, man. So
On
a
the
lot of
beaches
things,
and everything.
a lot of things is just a tester to see how American people react to it. You know what I'm saying? And so then, like right now, you got some people that's for the military being in these cities. And you know what I'm saying? And then you got a lot of people that's against it. They gonna see what how it turn out. They see that they tripped out in Chicago. So they ran up out of there, I guess. From my understanding. I know they tripped out there. They tripped out in Chicago. So I don't know. Maybe that's going to start a whole new trend where every city now is going to start tripping out. You know what I'm saying?
It's just learning. Once they see what they can do yesterday, it's just learning how to mobilize.
Right. Same
Yeah.
thing.
So that's all. We just got to come together, man. I think it's time to come together.
Hey, they
And,
came
and,
together.
and,
They came together yesterday.
and
Yeah,
for a
so
for a
it's
movement.
like that. All they gotta do is say, all right, we gonna do this every day until the motherfuckers come back and put the government in order. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Because if all them people just shut down, stayed home for a week.
Till the government shut down, we gonna shut down the city until they come back and go to work.
That's what I'm saying. Shut the city down. And people, you can do it. You can shut the city down. You can shut the whole
Right.
city down, man. Just don't go to
Shut
work.
the nation down.
Shut
We
it
can do
down.
that what they need, not on a Saturday, but do it on a weekday.
That's what
We'll
I'm
get you
saying.
in, Kerry. Hold on.
Yep. Go ahead. My bad.
Well, back in the day, you'd see a lot of protests that they'd quit shopping. They wouldn't shop in these white folks stores and stuff, and it affected them, and then they made a small change there, but I don't see a lot of change from back then till now. I'm sorry. I still see, and I've been with Low when it happens, pulling somebody over because they're black, or you line up 6 people and one of them's black. Oh yeah, that'd be the one. It just goes on and on and on. But you're right, Lo. You said one really thing that gave me, a more positive view is that coming to this Sankofa 180, learning the truth that's backed up with facts. This is how we're going to promote change, because it's just crazy to me, and it just kills me, that this still goes on, and it's going to get worse. We're under a racist guy, and
Orange motherfucker.
yeah, and it's just, we've all got to unite and learn the truth and the facts, and we've got to share that with others, and we've really got to unite, and stand up for these rights, and that's what it's going to take. That's what I saw back, for years ago till now, is they seem to be really united, and now we have people that, well, like Gerald, that promote this, that we're helping the community. We have rights, and they stand up for things, but we need more people to do that. And that's what I see. But thanks for letting me share.
Yeah, we got some more content to cover, man. Just based on especially the dialogue we're having. And Gerald mentioned in the beginning that I can't remember if he said that Dr. John Henry Clark didn't talk about the opposing view of spirituality. So I saved an extra one for that one, to me at least. But we got a little bit more content.
Dr. Clark is a historian. He wasn't. Yeah, he a historian.
Right. Yeah. So he got some more for your ass too, man.
Yeah, he's a historian. He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't going. He wasn't going to pick no religion over or no particular religion. He was talking about history.
Right.
History.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get some of this one. This is still Russell Meeks. But you're gonna recognize a few of the inserts from here. And then I got one more for sure after this. It's just like an 8-minute one. But we'll see.
You want to know what the hell it's like to live on the stinking west side of Chicago? Well, me and my little black brother are going to show y'all, Whitey. Watch this.
I'm Dave Dugan, and we've invited a cross-section of concerned citizens to a meeting in Chicago. Our question is this: will anything move the white man and mobilize the black man to end the domestic war and bring about a constructive peace? The place we've chosen to ask that question is Chicago.
My name is Russ Meeks. I am a writer, musician, a poet, and I live in the black ghetto on Chicago's west side. This somewhat imposing building, the Chatfield Apartments, is my daily abode. I am one of those who love Stokely Carmichael. I am one of those who believe that nonviolence is the philosophy of the fool, and that we are a new breed, a class of black men and women who would rather die on our feet than live on our knees. This is also a street where people live. This is not Washington Street. This is Maypole Street. When I was a kid, a Maypole meant a festive celebration. I think of drowning people being told, don't try to swim. And when you look at this street, you wonder about the man on the stoop. You see him in his red shirt. And you ask him, how are things going, as I did, and he'll tell you, not so good. This too is my neighborhood. My black brothers and sisters live and die. And this guy, he's just back from Vietnam 4 or 5 days ago. And when we talked, he told me one thing sure, that not like MacArthur, he will not return. What are they fighting for? Or maybe for these guys, these Madison Street merchants, these exploiters of my people. Yeah. And look, not only do they exploit us, but they also have fringe benefits. Like that. I bet their daughter would never marry a nigger, because her daddy would lynch him. And here's the liquor store, along with the bars. White owners? Yeah. White managers? Yeah. But then black power works too. Ask A&P. These guys are now managers. Yeah, that's right.
And why? Not for humanitarian motives, but because Black Power stepped in. Gee, look at this. They sell everything in the way of food. How about those garbage cans? Last week I saw a young black boy, about 7 years old, eating from them. Yeah, in the midst of plenty, they starve. But here we see them telling jokes to colored kids. Oh, yes, that's what they said. I said, what are you teaching them? Said, oh, nothing. We're telling jokes. And around the corner, they eat out of garbage cans. Hey, this guy don't miss many a meal. He's a little con man, yet he has the dignity of futility. Graduated from the back alley blues and came around to walk the street. See those cars passing by? Want me to tell you why? They're the colors of the flag, blue and white. And the Gestapo keeps going by and by. Here are the young guys who we might say are the counterparts of the garbage cans. Yeah, that's right. Their little baby black soul brother eating out of a garbage can. But listen what they've got to say. Dr. King, Whitney Young, Roy Wilkins, Reverend Henry Mitchell, do you speak for them? Hell no.
And I'm just for violence. That's all. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. We just beg and beg and beg. He keeps saying no, 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 no. I'm tired of it.
The white man gave me everything now that he has deprived me of, my people of, for the past 400 years. I could still not forget the slavery that he has taken my people through for 310 years.
Then in other words, there's no compromise.
That's right. There has to be complete separation.
Is this a school or a meat factory? For a young man who wanted to learn about black history, was told to go back to Africa. White principle, white flight.
How do you want to cook it? In that part as well? You put it in there halfway through. Put them in there now. Put the rack on.
Hey, mute your mic, E.
Beautiful black woman I'm talking to. Yeah, she's a college grad, a statistician, brilliant, articulate, but oh, so revolutionary. Baseball diamonds are surely in the rough these days. Here they play while a dog dies in the alley. Rats eat cheese. They also eat babies. We say no more to the rats, and we say no more to you, white America. The die is cast. You shall pay for the past.
That's his neighborhood as he sees it. Mr. Meek, why do you suppose that it's actually been relatively cool in Chicago this summer? Is it because things are better in Chicago than other cities?
Well, first of all, the question of cool is relative, because what the white media and the white power structure means by cool means that on the surface they don't see anything. But there's revolutionary ferment in Chicago, perhaps more so than in any other city.
Well, why hasn't it erupted, sir?
That's a question you might ask the white folks. See, because we don't go around advocating riots. We advocate revolution. And a revolution takes the form that's necessary for it to be victorious. You might ask Reverend Mitchell, because he has the vigilante force out there in our neighborhood, he says, patrolling the streets to keep the niggers quiet.
Well, Reverend Mitchell is here, and you did mention him in your film, too. I think we should write.
So you see, man, he's got preconceived notions, of course. That ain't no surprise. And he just says, why hasn't it erupted? Right? And that isn't a positive connotation that he's using. We know that.
Right now, go to Reverend Mitchell. You can stand, sir, if you'd like. It's easier, I think.
Yes. My name is Reverend Mitchell, president of the North Star United Missionary Workers of America on the Chicago West Side. The Bible says that every man be persuaded by his own opinion, but don't let it be judgment. We realize and understand that there are problems amongst the Negro community more so than any other community. The aim of our organization is to sit down and study the problem and take the proper approach to try and solve the problem.
For those from out of town, sir, could we just quickly clarify what your committee does? Do you work in the same neighborhood that Mr. Meek lives in?
Yes,
West Side?
West Side, nationwide. We own the entire state of Illinois.
Would you have a different program than, say, Mr. Meek does?
Well, our program is not hate.
It is not hate.
No, sir. Our program is to try to solve the problem with love.
Well, let me say something clearly, because horse and buggy techniques don't work in the jet age. And what Reverend Mitchell, when he says Christian love, it means Uncle Tomism.
I'm Helen Brandenburg. I'm a lay speaker for the Methodist Church. I have a daughter, and when she was 18, she represented the United States as a history major. And she's been at Columbia University. And she met a young boy who is an all-A student at Columbia. He is a Negro boy. They are both 19 years old, and they have just been married. His mother is from White Plains, New York. His father is a doctor. Now, I have the most wonderful... Oh, I just think that the new world is going to be wonderful. These are 19-year-old boys and girls. They are married. They love each other. My daughter has been raised as a Methodist. For 20 years, I have served the Salvation Army at Camp Lake, Wisconsin. And there, my daughter has learned to be with little Negro children and love them. And I never thought anything about her marrying one. I have 5 children. I have a Methodist minister, and he is 28 years old. He's the youngest boy in the Rock River Conference, and he has just married a Chinese girl who is herself also a missionary.
So you believe in Christian love, then, says the Reverend.
Well, this is what our children are doing today. This is a wonderful thing that we can look forward to. America, 19-year-old children who are students at Columbia, who have they have learned about religion from their parents, and yet this is what it has been interpreted to them, to love one another. They're going to grow up and raise children, and that's what America will be.
This boy back here? Well, boy that was in the film, I believe.
Yes, I'm one of them. My name is Reginald Dobbs. I live at 3319 Maple.
Reginald Dobbs.
Those areas that was pointed out in the film. I'd like to direct a question to Reverend Mitchell. Do you think that we will be satisfied with the jobs they are giving us?
Yes, son, I think so. Simply because we are asking that you be trained on the job, and they start you off with a certain salary starting rates, and you will be promoted up to the maximum of the job.
No, I don't believe that. The white man is gonna keep you where he got you. You're not going no higher than he wants you to go. And we ain't gonna settle for nothing but all the way. And about this violence and non-violence, I'm for violence. Because we have pleaded for the last 400 years.
What would you say to a boy like that? Because this happens to be, coincidentally, the young man in the group that Mr. Meeks said you did not speak for. How would you talk to a young boy like that?
Well, I would say I would definitely have to use the Bible, Mr. Duncan.
Yeah.
Well, this is my own way.
Uncle Tom.
Well, salvation.
You can't brainwash me.
Jesus said, first ye seek the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all of these things will be added.
Heaven is on earth, mind you, brother.
Yeah. Let me see.
You have anything more? How about the other lad?
You gonna go when we start revolution? Whose side are you gonna be on? Are you still gonna be on your knees begging for us jobs?
I will, as Mr. Meeks said, he wouldn't just die standing on his feet rather than down with his knees. I will die standing up for God, regardless of any circumstance.
Okay. Have God ever told you to let this white man rule you like he is?
Well, young man, you first must be born again. God is a spirit.
I ain't born again. I ain't got to be born again. See, I was born in a new generation. You could your mother could have brainwashed you, but can't nobody brainwash me. I'm ready. It's gonna take young boys like us to win the revolution.
The white people realize today that they was wrong for enslaving the Negro. Not just the great mass. May I finish? I'll wait. Why, if you so
You hear that shit? Okay.
You so militant, so intelligent. Why don't you keep your mouth shut?
I'll tell you why, Reverend Mitchell, because I'm sick and tired of you standing up there on a television camera, a black man with a white heart and a white face. You're a black Anglo-Saxon, you're a disgrace to the race, to stand up on a white man loving you. Ask Medgar Evers' wife. Ask the parents of the 3 civil rights workers in Mississippi. Ask Jimmy Lee Jackson's mother. Understand? Ask Grace Louise with 5 children who was shot in the head because he's riding with a black boy in the car. You stand there and talk like an unmitigated fool.
I thought you were more intelligent.
I'm intelligent enough that I don't want to listen to your grip.
May I finish, gentleman question? Son, I'm sure that the great mass of the white people realized that they was wrong for enslaving enslaving the Negro.
Let's get this lady back here.
My name is Jean Williams, and I'm a civil rights lawyer. What has kept Chicago from erupting has been the open suppression and Gestapo-like tactics that the Chicago policemen have initiated in the black neighborhoods. Wherever there are 5 or more Negroes congregated, they move in, they break up those groups. I know what I'm talking about. They break up those groups and they shuttle everybody off to jail. Now, sooner or later, there are going to be enough families deprived of their breadwinners and their loved ones that Chicago isn't going to be cool, regardless of how much praying Reverend Mitchell does.
We have a Chicago police official here, Chicago police commander, to respond to the charge about police repression in Chicago this summer. Is there an official of the Chicago Police Department who could answer that?
He said, hell no.
That's all right. Fine. Go ahead.
He said, I'm outnumbered.
Back to see, he pointed out for me that I could go back when I want to. Go back to where? Huh? Go anywhere
Sir,
you
could
want.
you stand up? We can't hear you. Could you stand up over there by the mic?
You mean to Africa? Do you mean to Africa? Do you mean to Africa? We are not Africans no more. You have raped our great-grandmothers and stuff and changed us. We are not, okay, let me finish. It gave us the name as a Negro. I am not a Negro. A Negro is a person with a slave at the man. I just want to tell you that. And don't say nothing else to me.
Sir, did you want to say something, miss? Okay, this lady back here, please. Your name, please.
Don't say nothing else to me.
Community Council, a branch of LSNA. Mr. Meek, I recognized much of your film. Is this the 3100 block of Maple?
33 and 32.
32 was great. Looks quite familiar as it did when I lived there. Marshall School still looks the same also. And there was more than 75% colored when I went there. You know, we got along great. Some of,
That's right.
all of us got along together very well. I recall very few colored and whites fighting. We were friends. When there was any arguments or fights, as there usually is, as you call it, the ghetto, we seemed to stick together. The colored stuck up for the whites and the whites stuck up for the colored.
What is your point, ma'am? Do you feel that the...
I arose
Yes.
of this neighborhood. I lived in the slums. I'm not ashamed of it. You know, nobody helped me get where I'm at. I scrubbed floors. I scrubbed.
Hey, what that shows to me is that, you know, our people, what wasn't, you know, savages and all that violent and shit like that, you know, but you send some black people to an all-white school and it's a problem.
Floors. It doesn't make any difference. The friends that I graduated with had jobs and homes just as I have now, and they were colored. And they had a chance. They sat right next to me in class. The teacher listened to them just like she listened to me. And it was that same house that you showed me on that film. So then, I am as the same as these boys here. Because I seen little white kids as well as colored kids together digging out a garbage can. Not separately. Together. We walked down the street. We tripped over probably the same drunks in front of Rothschild that are still there now. So what about me? Am I a poor white person? God help me, give me mercy. I want white power then. What about
You should have it, baby.
Wait, what about
You want to let me address myself too?
What?
What about them?
We
They
have
got their
a
own problems,
too.
lady, and I think that the white people should have white power. I'm talking about black. See, this talking to you is an exercise in futility. Let's get this clear. I'm not talking about white people. When you solve those problems, you use force or violence, whatever it is they solve, and I don't blame you. And if I had the thing you had, I wouldn't want to give it up either.
Do we come and march and you say, look at our poor people, look at our hungry
No, you don't have to come because we can't solve your problem. You have to solve your own, and we want to solve our own.
By violence?
Who said anything about violence? Everybody here is talking about violence, but
You
that's
said
me.
he believes
That's
in
it.
violence. I want to
Does
know
they have a right
why.
to? They're going to take him in a few years and teach him to kill with the best weapons
They
available.
taught my brother to kill too.
Okay, so let's ask the United States government about violence, baby. They live on it. They thrive on it. They invest in it.
This is the most violent society in the world that you run, baby.
Why is
You
it so
hung black
fair?
men up by their heads and cut their bodies to pieces. You burn women to death. Yes, I got the pictures on my wall. I was tied to a tree by the plan and had a knife run through my body.
You never seen white people killed though.
White people, I'm not worried about them.
Kenzie and I watched them die in front of me.
That's tough.
As a kid.
That's tough. That's tough. But we're talking about black power, black society,
That's all we hear.
divorce from white society. You were here at town meeting. You go home if you don't want to hear, baby. Go home.
You don't want to hear.
Go. We don't need you.
You don't want to hear.
No.
I'll let the lady speak, because Mr. Meeks is a little louder in his voice. I think this is a very interesting point, and I'm, you know, it's an amazing coincidence that you did live in that immediate area, because we had no idea that was going to be the
Exactly. That street.
Do you
That
still live
block.
in the area?
No, I don't.
And you're
It looked just like that when I did though.
Sure.
And Beidler School. You know Beidler School there?
Yeah.
You know the old school?
Yeah, I know.
The old one with the wooden floors?
Yeah.
I walked on it. There's a new school.
What, you want a medal?
Isn't there?
You want a medal?
I didn't get no new school, but
You
I'm
want a
not
medal?
complaining.
Give it a CMH.
Let's let her.
She's a white person.
Hold it, Mr. Meeks.
You're the one that's crying the loudest.
I'm crying. See, I'm not crying.
I'm trying.
You know the difference between defiance and a cry? You're talking to a black man, baby. I don't cry to white folks.
Talk to them all
I'm talking to my people, not even to you.
Talk to them all
Hold it, Mr.
my life.
Meeks. You're singing the blues.
But you're blaming us. We got a right to stand up and defend ourselves.
Defend yourself. I go in your spot, baby.
Hold it, Mr. Meeks.
Hold off your hands. Hold it.
There's no
Hold it.
blood on mine.
All right, ma'am.
You got the pictures. I haven't been with
All right,
you.
hold it,
No,
folks.
I'm not guilty
Ma'am,
enough.
I'd like to let you say this very simply.
Are we wrong because we're white?
Yeah,
Are we wrong?
yeah.
Well, then maybe the shoe's on the other foot now.
Well, your men seem to like our women so much we get a little confused.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
All right, we're going.
Yeah.
I will in a second, but I just want to clarify this. Your point simply is this, ma'am. You believe that when you lived in the neighborhood where Mr. Meeks was, there were 75% Negro then, and you say that the friends that you went to school with, as well as yourself, worked their way out of the ghetto.
That's right.
And you believe that anybody can do it if they want to?
That's right.
All right, let's let this gentleman back here. Here's a man. Let's.
Miss Williams,
right,
I think
we got
white
one man
people
here.
have to talk to white people and tell them why they're wrong.
Here's a white
I think
man. Let's let him say
white
this.
people have to tell some ignorant white people that they shouldn't start listening to Russell Meek and Gene Williams and Dick Gregory and Bob Lucas. And I'd like to ask this woman if she honestly believes there isn't segregation in Chicago, and if she's been to the schools. I teach in the West Side. My name's Richard Kelly. I teach in Upper Grade Center in the West Side. And I next year conditions are worse than last year. I have 39 in the class where I had 35. We have a white principal, white assistant principal. The Negroes that teach our school are afraid to open their mouth because they're afraid that they're going to lose their job, their time. There's a lot of segregation, not only in the house. You can go in the different neighborhoods. Ma'am, I don't see how you can sit here and dare to talk to Russ Meek and say there isn't segregation in Chicago.
The whole thing comes down to yourself, please.
Elmer Lazar, Chicago, Illinois. The whole
Are
thing.
you with an association? An
No,
organization?
no, just individual.
Go ahead.
The whole
Listen to
thing
this
comes
dork.
down to education, rather lack of education. Now, to prove this to you, I was an employment manager of a firm that employed dozens of Negroes 5, 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And we were looking for a truck driver several times, not just once, dozens of times. We used to interview colored fellows that come in, you know, from 18 to 30, any age. And out of 25 colored fellows that came in to apply for the job, only 3 or 4 could talk, could read and write English. 3 or 4. Now, these were newly come Southerners from the South, you know, see. And only out of the 25 fellows that we interviewed, only 3 or 4 could read and write. Back in 1950, 1952, 53, 54, 55.
Your point is?
What can you do with people that they sent from the South that can't read and write? What can you do with people that have no education? Now, we have to educate. The South should not be allowed to send these colored people up.
See that shit?
They should educate them.
That motherfucker.
That's the point.
How about this gentleman in the front row? Would you identify yourself, sir?
I'm Reverend Emmett G. Davis, the Executive Director of the North Suburban Organization for Fair Housing. There are a couple of points that I want to speak to, particularly to get back to originally the way we started out.
Yes.
We're caught now in this trap between whether we're going to follow Dr. Martin Luther King with a nonviolent approach, or whether we're going to follow our friend Russ Meeks here with a violent approach. We're at a loss to know what to do. We tried Dr. King. We're afraid to try Meeks.
Are you afraid to try Meeks? You're afraid to try Meeks?
Some of the people on the North Shore aren't afraid. They've gotten a little sophistication because they've been able to move to
Are
the
these
North
Negroes
Shore.
you're talking about?
Negroes, yes.
Middle-class Negroes.
They've been calling the police department in Evanston, hoping there's not going to be a riot in Evanston. They are afraid too. Now, how do you reach these kind of people?
Well, you feel
I wish Mr. Meeks to tell us this.
The middle-class Negroes.
The middle-class Negroes who have become complacent, who fear the revolutionary lower to lower economic class Negroes.
Well, Mr. Meeks, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I'd like to respond because I think that you sound like a reverend. Thank goodness there's some people like you left. Thank you. I might even come to your church one day and see what you have to say. Man, what a breath of fresh air. I want to say this because, see, first of all, there's a mistaken notion. The Watts study, which they just brought out, proved that the middle class black man is much more violent than the so-called lower strata.
Well, that's different from what he was saying.
Well, you see, when you talk about people in North Shore, see, here's the point. Which, I'm talking to black folk now, you know. That no matter what happens, the dialectics of the situation are going to make you either get off the fence or crawl in a hole in the ground. It is the ability to take your own resources and develop a culture, a society, a community of our own, the way we want it, free from white interference. And we give you the same privilege. We're not interested in interracial house. We don't want your neighborhood. We want ours.
That reverend got to go. He tired of it.
Don't want you coming in our neighborhood and open up stores and exploiting us, and then go home and throw a bomb if we move next door out in the suburbs.
So that part right there, when the brother walked out, the reverend, he walked out. It goes to my pondered question of why do our people fray from Afrocentricity, right?
We don't want.
Let's just think about it.
We want our schools to be the highest and the best possible for our black progeny. See, what people don't understand, we are saying, and we're not in our neighborhood and open up stores and explore us, and go home and throw a bomb if we move next door out in the suburbs.
What he's talking about right there is basic self-determination.
Right.
That's what the Black Panther Party is founded on.
Without a doubt.
That's Marcus Garvey saying Africanism 101.
Right.
What you said he was?
Say that again.
What you said he was?
He was a reverend.
So what's his mindset gonna mean? Christianity.
Yeah, without a
They
doubt.
won't leave it in. They want God to handle it. They're not gonna handle their own shit.
Just take that ass whooping, turn the other cheek, and stay in your own lane.
Yeah, go to heaven, and fool them all. Fool them all by taking that ass whooping, me and Meek and Elmo, and you saying, ha, I'm going to heaven. And whatever that ideology is, you know what I'm saying? So, when you say we don't stand up for our own, that ain't no Christian thing. That's taking it in your own hands. And we supposed to leave it in God's hands. And
right.
Why he had to walk out?
Yeah. We're gonna see him walk out. Why are we so afraid as a whole people? Why are we so afraid and fray from the Afrocentricity? It's fucking sickening.
We don't want your schools, but we want our schools to be the highest and the best possible for our black progeny. See, what people don't understand, we are saying, and we're not asking. You see, the die is cast, as I said, we're not asking, we're saying this is the way it's going to be.
Mr. Meeks, why do you feel, as an example, just to zero in on this, why do you personally feel that Martin Luther King's way is not the way to work?
Well, it's very simple to me, because it hasn't worked.
He's talking about new techniques, tying up the city.
You don't tie up no city. You don't tie up a city. There's no such thing as massive civil disobedience. There's two things. There's you either have a revolution, because the moment he tries that, the police force with the live bulls from here they talk about going to open up on him. And what's he going to do about black folks laying out in the street with blood running out of their bodies? You think that then he's going to lose control? Then he's going to run and call the president and say, send the troops in. You see?
Let me ask you a question. What if every Negro employee of the CTA picked one day in September to get sick? Wouldn't that tie up the
No, they'd get tired, they put white folks in their place.
From the Catholic Interracial Council. I'm also a Democrat, and about 1,000 years ago, there was a Greek philosopher who said that those who do injustice are more harmed.
All right, we got one more. Anybody else? Oh, let me get back to you.
Teach our people that we're in a cultural war.
All right, anybody want to speak before I play that last one?
No, we good. Yeah.
I got one more after that.
I
If we
am.
can, if we can stand it, we'll decide afterwards.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Yeah. So this just moves into where we're at today. Back to our, not necessarily where we're at today, but back to our divinity and our traditional, our ancient ancestral thread and shit like that. So get off this. I had to bring comedic back into it. So Dr. John Henry Clark started out with why we have this problem. What we started with traditionally, what dissolved through Christianities and a few other things, and now we get back to divinity here.
Teach our people that we're in a cultural war, and that if we don't win the culture war, we will not win the political and economic war, no matter how many battles we win on the political and economic front. If you do not win the culture war, you will lose the whole battle. The cultural battle, you will lose the whole war. And so what we see in Haiti over the last really 300 years is an attack on the African psyche, an attack on the African worldview, an attack on the African cosmogony by attacking the African spiritual system, which is at the center of African culture. Now, the word voodoo comes from the Fon language. Many of the people in Haiti come from the Fon nation. These are the people primarily of the area we now call Benin. In Benin, one of the word for God.
The government is banning this $39 electric lighter next month, and this is your last shot to get the original high-powered.
Is voodoo. In its neighboring country, Togo, where the Ewe people are cousin people to the Fon people live, their word for God, one of their word for gods, is voodoo. Matter of fact, in Togo, when you want to say the nature of God in man, you say voodoo daha, meaning the God in me. If you want to call on God Almighty, the Fon people, as well as the Haitian people, use the word Lisa. In Togo, the neighboring country, they use the word Sobe Lisa, which means God is every and all things at once. That God exists alone, and everything else that exists is an expression of an aspect of the divine essence. And that is the nature of voodoo. What voodoo says is that everything that exists is an aspect of God, and thus the essence of God is in all things: plants, animals, earth, water, humans. And because the divine essence is in all things, then we should treat all things as though they are an expression or representative of the divine essence. And so in the structure of voodoo, voodoo call them Loas. I'm an Orisha priest, a priest of Oya, from the Yoruba perspective, which is the same system as the Haiti system. And the Yorubas call them Orisha. The Haitians call them Loas. But what we're talking about is the forces of nature that we know about and that we recognize. Africans in the voodoo system and the Orisha system have been able to discern in nature over 240 primary forces and another 500 to probably 1,000 sub-forces that are elements of one of these 240 primary forces. And what I'm talking about when I say forces, we are talking about, if you're talking about a plant and pick a specific plant, we know that in any specific plant, there is pharmaceutical elements that would allow you to use that plant to help assist in the healing of the human body or the replenishing of the human body. So that element of that plant that will assist in the healing or the replenishing of the human body is called a force or an orisha or power of God in this living thing. And the same thing with animals. In all animals, the animal contains the essence of the divine. And so when you do a sacrifice and you kill an animal, the vital energy that was that animal is released. And the African tradition says that you can capture that vital energy and use it for good. Everybody talks about voodoo as being something that could be used for bad. Well, if that's the case, why haven't we defeated the Europeans with it? If we've got this power to do harm and destructive things, why haven't we used this power to destroy the imperialists, to destroy the colonialists, to destroy the oppressors, to destroy those who practice genocide against us? That's not what voodoo is about. Voodoo is about understanding nature, your relationship to nature, nature's relationship to you, and to be able to discern your interdependence on nature and nature interdependence on you, the human family. And that system of organizing, which goes back as far as the first African, it actually goes back to God, the divine itself. Because in the beginning, in our system, ancestry plays a great role. And in Haiti, if you go to any home, even those who say they're Catholic, almost every home in Haiti, whether they proclaim Christianity or not, have shrines to their ancestors. And ancestors is not a big deal. When you tell someone in modern society that you are going to take their DNA, what you're telling them is that I'm going to examine who your ancestors are. Your DNA is your traces of your ancestors. So when someone takes your DNA, they're looking to see what are the trace elements of your ancestors that still remain in your genes and what ancestors still remain in your genes. And so the ancestors are not dead and gone. The ancestors are actually embedded in us, in our DNA, embedded in every cell and every gene in our body. There's an African way of saying that we are the best collections of our ancestral genes, of the most powerful genes of our ancestors. Thus, we are the latest model and the highest tech version of those ancestors. And when we pass these genes on to our children, we not only pass ourselves on, we pass all the ancestors that came before us in that line on. So the ancestors isn't something in the past. The ancestors is embedded in the DNA of your body, the genes, the molecules, the electrons and the protons that are in you are the experiences and the result of those experiences that all your ancestors have had since the divine God itself. Because God is the first ancestor. Out of God came the essence and element that made the first human. And in us are the elements that came from the divine into the first human that has been passed down to us. That is the essence of voodoo. It is the sacred science of African indigenous spiritual system. And that is under attack by the Christian world, primarily, to some degree by the Muslim world, but particularly by the Christian world, because if the African spiritual system and the African indigenous theology begins to govern African social construction, then you will not be able to oppress African peoples. And so what we are seeing is an attack on the culture of African people, because it is understood by our enemies that by attacking our culture, we will attack the spiritual center, and we will attack those people's ability to protect themselves against genocide. I think it is Sister Marimba Ani that says culture protects the people against genocide. And the way culture protects you against genocide, culture is the educational system of a people that instructs and informs the people of the best of the wisdom of their ancestors that can be used to construct the family, to construct the extended family, to construct the neighborhood, to construct the community, and to construct the nation based on principles, concepts, and ideas that have been proven to be sustainable, and that is capable of allowing a society to structure itself around truth, justice, righteousness, harmony, balance, and reciprocity, as our ancestors state in the term we call ma'at.
My name is
All right, we got one more 8-minute video if you guys want to watch it.
8 minutes, let's roll, man. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody want to say anything on Dr. James Small? Professor James Small? Just like how it brings it back to us, man. Like we ended that last conversation with, man, is that, Afrocentricity, man, in our traditional culture. And how far, we strayed from it, So this next one is Dr. John Henry Clark, and he's just talking about where Jesus came from. So there's a 2-hour video on what I'm going to show you 8 minutes of.
What made them choose Jesus? And that also brings
They didn't at first, because he was never referred to as Jesus in his lifetime. Most of the writing about him occurred 80 years after his death, and that he began to go as Jesus the Christ. The very word Christ is not of African origin. It's from Krishna. It's more of East Indian origin than Africa.
Well, Rogers tells us that the word means the black one, the anointed one, because the one kissed of the sun was worthy of being the most anointed.
It could well mean that.
Now, this Jesus, who we know from the study of history, was a black man.
Whose picture we know.
But yes, sure, I think is the proper word.
Now, let's make a distinction between the physical Jesus and the picture that the Pope commissioned Michelangelo to paint in the 15th century. Now, at the Conference of Nicaea, where they lost the books of the Bible that they didn't want to deal with, or putting them on the table and said that in the morning, the books that God don't want us to use will be gone. And so there were no lost books of the Bible. They were the books that was left out of the Bible, especially the book of Mary. It tells you what Joseph said when he discovered Mary was with child. He knew it wasn't his child. Otherwise, they could not create the Immaculate Conception had they left the book of Mary in there. Now, the idea of Immaculate Conception It's old because in Africa, a woman can have 9 children if her reputation is good and honorable, and if she's frequented only by one man. The African will say that her skirt is clean, her mouth is sweet. She is virgin. So the idea of virginity has absolutely nothing to do with whether you have had a child by process of cohabitation or not. Because the Europeans now want to create something that has a similar purity. They now would give a lady a child without having intercourse with a man.
But this also has something to do with the fact that most of them were misogynists. They didn't want, but they couldn't get around exalting a woman to a higher state in the Christian church, because most people at the time that they were trying to convert to the religion was into the mother goddess concept. And in order to elevate Mary to that status, they had to take her out of the realm of humanity, so to speak.
They had to make a supernatural Mary. And I think it's unfair to her because they had to dehumanize her by elevating her above human. And Mary, not Christ, should be at the heart, the focal point of the Christian religion.
Well, as ironic as it is, the Catholics in some way have done that.
They have done that in some of their rituals, but they have steadily fought against even having a minor female administrator in the church.
Now, this person who eventually came to be called Jesus by them,
the picture that we get, it wasn't painted until the 15th century.
What was he actually like? What was happening in the Hebrew? He was a Hebrew, we know that. And what was happening with the Hebrews? What was the dynamic going on between them and the Roman government at that time, who were occupying their land in that little nation of Judea?
Well, the Romans occupying their land until they got on the Romans' nerves, and the Romans destroyed the last temple at 7th AD.
Well, they say it was a hotbed there, especially where Jesus was raised, around Nazareth and Galilee. It was a hotbed of rebellion. They were constantly carrying out some type of revolt.
But they're still doing it. We're talking about people of the Hebrew faith as distinguished between people we call Jews. The word Jew had its greatest development in Europe. There are people of the Hebrew faith all over the world, in India, China, and South Sea Islands, who never used the word Jew, who still belong to the Hebrew faith, and whose conversion to the Hebrew faith is older than that of Europe. The Europeans, Hebrews, were converted in the 8th century, 850 or thereabout.
Well, they felt that the Romans really had no right to rule over them, not only because they were invaders, but their laws said, their Torah said, that only God ruled them. Only the Creator was their ruler. They ruled through their king that came out from their midst.
But the Romans were no respecter of local customs or local laws. And even with the trial of Jesus Christ for sorcery, the Romans did not want a part of it, but because the Roman law, the crime of sorcery was major and therefore had to be taken to the Roman government. Minor crimes, they could try themselves. And so when they took him before the Roman emperor, the Roman emperor realized that he was no enemy of Rome, and he wasn't telling Romans to give their money to the poor or turn the other cheek. He wasn't driving Romans from the temple. He was driving his own people. So the Romans had no vested interest in interfering with all of this internal matter between the people they had colonized. And so he pushed them back to the crowd and said, he's your king. And they pushed him back toward the Romans and said, not my king. So we see the essential beauty and loneliness of the story. And the man who eventually emerged as Jesus Christ was one of a number of itinerant ministers roaming through the land at that time and who had the smallest amount of followers. Why did he survive? The others got lost. His people were then what they are now, great record keepers.
And evangelizers.
And they are also, when necessary, great record changers. And maybe some of the greatest liars under the eye of God.
That's right. Record changes all day.
The new monster with
There we have it, fam.
Woo, they're the greatest, greatest, hey, they're the greatest changes of information ever.
Right. Right.
And then demonize ours so you don't go to it. And so you'll stay way away from it. So you don't know so you'll never find out how they've been tricking the shit out of us. You never know, man. You just sit up there and it's comfortable. It feel good. You like the way it make you feel. You like the way it sound. It's comfortable. Yeah, we're gonna stick with this right here. We don't want to know what's really going on. We just gonna go and stick with this here, man. Yeah, man. Dr. Clark, man. Hey, I tell you what, brother. You can't go wrong. Like I said, man, you want to know history? He gonna show you some history.
Starting in with the master teacher.
What? Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Yeah, beautiful, man.
Thank you guys, man.
For sure, man. You as always, King. You always put it down, man. E, what you think about that, King? I don't know, E there. Yeah, unmute yourself if you're there, E. There you go.
All these are good presentations. I was in and out on this last one, but I got that one as well with my collection. Yep. They're all good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Carrie, Miss Carrie, what you think?
You know, I love all these. They all had that common thread and then would provide another perception and a little more information and it just kept growing and growing. And so I really appreciate it. And thank you, Lo, for putting this all together. And I'm probably going to get off and take a bath. Love you guys. Thank you.
All right, Queen. All right. Hey, man. Hey, what about you, Gerald? What you think, King?
Oh, real information. The last one I wasn't reading at all. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Jesus was real. So all that, how they was rolling with all that, I don't know what information that changed and they was on it like that. Now the Clark kept saying it was a story, but it's a myth. It ain't it ain't history. It's mythology. So that's the way I look at that. I don't have no historical evidence of no Jesus or no Mary or none of that shit. So, and it's mythology to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, yeah, and I like the young brothers, man. When the young brothers, see the young brothers, them was the ones that usually in the revolution, the young ones, young cats set it off. and they go hard. They go in. You know what I mean? And you know, and my man asked him, you know, what side you gonna be on when the shit go down?
Right.
You still gonna be on your knees praying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah, you know. So yeah, man. Yeah. See, them young brothers was more in tune with the struggle, with the movement, than these young brothers. Now they coming around, but for the most part, these young brothers now they too much into themselves instead of looking around and seeing what the government's doing and all that. They not you know, because like Gerald said, these rights that we fought so hard for, hey, they trying to take them back. They trying to take them up out of the, you know, get them up out of there, man. So yeah, man. You know, and the youngsters was you know, at that time they wasn't having it, and these youngsters they too busy talking about some damn drill music, and you know, who killed Pookie around the corner. You know what I'm saying? You know, instead of trying to figure out where you gonna stand at in the next year or so, man. Where you think where you see yourself? Because if you you know, where do you see yourself when you worried about Pookie around the corner or Junebug? What you going what you know what I'm saying? When you beefing with them cats, but the world is turning inside out and you don't even know it. The United States is folding, and you don't even know it. Folding right before your eyes. Look at the protest yesterday. It's folding. It's folding, King. This joint is folding, and we on and I young see them young. Like I said, that's the difference. They knew the struggle. Like Gerald explained it, man. They knew the struggle, man. Back then, it was a struggle. It was a fight. And shit, these niggas they fight each other. They, you know what I'm saying? And we trying to, you know, and I don't even know what it's about, man. You don't even know what these beefs are about, man.
You got a chess game being played, right?
Yeah.
You got chess being played. So when they were talking like earlier, you kept hearing them talking about the revolution. It hadn't came yet. He them was right around the corner. And they ended up forming a little bit after that. You with me?
Yeah.
But when they were talking about it, it hadn't happened yet. Boom. Then you had revolution. And the Black Panther Party is young people. They're not old people. They're young people. They were not happy with what the old people was doing. Just like he was arguing. The young people was dissatisfied with the old people in the civil rights movement. Right?
Right.
Civil rights movement was Martin Luther King. Behind them, in the back door at that whole time was Malcolm X. Malcolm X was always opposing what the civil rights movement was doing as far as the fight. Malcolm X was killed. The Black Panther Party formed a year after that. That's young Huey them. You with me?
Right.
They fought the revolution. The revolution is started. They fighting. They started killing the Panthers. They started yelling the Panthers. FBI get into it, Hohenheim Pro, and they hit the Panthers down. Right? That next generation turned into gangsters. You with me?
Right.
Out of the Black Panther Party came the Crips and the Bloods. They are the masters of the party. You with me?
Say it again.
They call them the masters masters of the party, like illegitimate child of the Black Panther Party.
The bastards of the 40s?
Masters of the party.
Master.
Right.
No, you ain't national with a me.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, illegitimate child of the Black Panther Party.
Okay, I got you.
National of the party. That
Okay.
was the President of Loyalty game. You with me?
Right.
So that Black Panther Party, which was revolution, they changed the party in to entertainment. You with me?
Right.
That's when you got black exploitation movies. And I want to be a pimp and all that old shit. And black people, the young black people, want to become pimp and they want to sell drugs. That's what was after the Black Panther Party. And then in the 80s, the Raymond and, Freeway Ricky and all that, when the drugs came in, we became gangsters. That became the culture. You with me?
Right.
The music with Public Enemy and all that now came up. You with me?
Right.
And it was a black power thing again. And then Gangster Rap came in. And when Gangster Rap came in for the culture, it been downhill since then.
Right.
So that was really that, that drill rap and all that. That's the black culture and the black women shaking their asses and all that. That's the black culture. When all this shit going on with Trump, we doing dancing. I'm putting my boots on the ground, we dancing. You know what I'm saying? That's the culture. It ain't now a small bit of my black culture is revolution, black power, but we only a small part of it. We not big as we think we supposed to be. Like it was big when it was the Black Panther and the Civil Rights. Then
Right.
they had to be that way. Everybody was into it. Once we won the right, motherfuckers knew what as I say, they knew what they want to do. They don't even have to be black if they don't want to no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got black Republicans. We got all that shit. Back in the day, you was no black Republicans. Nigga, what you talking about? With no such thing as a black Republican. They didn't say that shit. Now that you can be what you want to be, you got black Republicans that act like they ain't black. They act like they white. Y'all seen them,
Y'all seen them.
all the ones that got Trump voted, didn't get no job. He said no CEI. Y'all black ass say me and I got them cabinet department. You ain't heard them say a goddamn thing.
Yeah, that poor boy from South Carolina, Dumb Donald. That ain't his name, but that's what I call him.
Yeah.
That motherfucker, man. He's still sniffing. You know what I mean?
Scott is his last name.
Yeah.
Tim Scott? Is it Tim Scott?
Yeah, Tim Scott. Dumb Donald. Yeah, man. So, hey, man, thank you guys for participating, man. Gerald, I knew that last one was gonna rub you that way. I already knew that, but I just felt.
That's the whole thing with even Dr. Clark and them, they'll be talking about that shit like it was real. They had laid into their next number to know all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we talk about Mary and all that, they get that from our set. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you guys taught me, man, that we're more educated than that to let that so much bother us. But nevertheless, I still don't like to hear people using the Greek names for our ancestors, for our natures. That
And
shit's
see,
not.
a lot of time when Dr. Clark be speaking on that, man, to me, he be speaking on it according to the story.
Exactly.
Right.
Or
He
the
not,
myth,
yeah,
according to the myth.
yeah, according to the story, man. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, man. He ain't.
We know he ain't taking that side.
Yeah, no, man. When I look at it, that's how I look at it, man. When he talking, because because he makes it clear, man.
Yeah, but then like he not getting into it like, well, was he a black man? Well, if Hitler, this ain't wasn't real.
Yeah, that was Barashango doing that.
Yeah, you know, all that, but we know he was a Jew. What, and man, he wasn't. That's a mythological story, y'all.
Yeah, but when you listen to him, he lets you know from the beginning that that if one was to exist,
right,
according to the story, this is wooty woo, right? He wasn't. Yeah, hell no, man. Because I get what you're saying, but no, Dr. Clark speaks especially with Barashango when they was questioning him about that. Yeah, he specifically let him know that this is according to the story, man. This, you know, this,
And Gerald studied with Gerald.
I'm just thinking that my part would have been, well, I'm a historian.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I taught history. That's mythology. You know, that's what I was saying. If I'm a historian, you know. Yeah, I taught history. That's taught the history. You know. But when you bring it in, well, they thought he was it had nothing to do with the Romans, and they had, you might think if he's a historian, that's not really real. If he's talking about it.
Yeah, and that's got to hit different, you know, with you hearing it from him because you studied under him.
Yeah.
So that rhetoric has to hit different, you know what I mean? So, you know, I get it, but you know, like I said, you know, I'm maturing enough. Well, I don't know, man. You know, I just have it on my mind more often than not to you know, don't take that shit so damn literal and you know, we know where Dr. Clark is at. Yeah, but for people that don't know, they might think different. So we're here to let that be known that it's different.
Well, with some people, it's like, well, you ain't Dr. Clark. Dr. Clark no more than you, then they go back to the evidence. Show me the evidence. I don't give a damn what Dr. Clark said. We talking about these reasons. You don't know, Dr. Clark ain't never told me no historical evidence. So, I don't know what y'all talking about. And I love Dr. Clark. I'm not disrespecting him. But when they jump on that, on the historical level, he out of mouth. Or anybody who thinking it's historical because he's a historian talking about it. They out of mouth.
And this is the reason why I play it, man, so we can have this conversation. A part of the reason why, right? You know, so you can clarify because left unattended, you know, people can derive from it different. So, you know, we're here to clear the board, man.
Yeah, Dr. Clark, yeah, man.
Yeah. But you know, people ain't studying Dr. John Henry Clark, man. You know, they hear that and they think, you know, he said it's Jesus. You know, he didn't
No,
say
you gotta listen to the whole
he
thing.
didn't say that. Yeah, and like I said,
listen to
I
the
got
whole thing.
yeah, I wasn't gonna play the whole thing, but it's a 2-hour video. That was just a portion.
I mean, I'm just talking about just that part of it. If you just do that whole part, he's gonna he don't believe in no Jesus.
No.
Right.
Well, good, man. I'm gonna sign out.
Yeah, me too, man. Hey, family, listen, like, subscribe, share, give us a like. I mean, give us a comment. Let us let us know how you feel. Join us the first Sunday every month for the children's book read.
Come join Nico and Isaiah on their show, man. For the first Sunday's children's book read or video watch.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, come and check us out, man. For the book read, man, and win you a free book, fam, and get some of this free history. All right, that we giving away, fam. Every Friday from 7 p.m. We have open mic. Come talk about whatever you want. And that book read is always 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And every other Sunday, every Sunday besides that, we do things like this. So, fam, come and join us. Like, subscribe, share, give us a like. Give us a comment. Let's know how you feel. You want to talk to him, E? Tell him. We'll close out.
Hey, I'm all good, man. Thank you. Like I said, thank you for having me. I'm in and out today, but always intended to be in my spirit. Yeah, man. Um, I'm always down with Dr. Clark as a historian, as a teacher. That's the one I've been studying under. All respect due to him and those like him. That's it for me. That's all I got, brother.
Oh, man, thank you,
Peace
E.
out.
That's right.
Oh, man. Man, I'm good, man. The Friday night open mic, I've been absent, man, because of my grandson's football games, but you got one more game left, and I'll be on full tilt. But the children's book read, man, we got to come and attend to that, man. And like I said, Isaiah and Nico, that's Isaiah and Nico's little demo. They're going to be running a book, reading a book, watching a video, doing their own little thing next first Sunday. So bring your kids, adults, stick and stay. I'm sure to learn something too. I'm sure you don't know about, Queen Ty, Nzinga, and many of the other people that these kids have information about. So big ups to them kids, man. Big ups to your parents.
That's right, man. And Gerald.
Let me just say one more thing, man. Just one more thing.
Go ahead.
Just want to send divine healing and positive vibes to anybody experiencing discomforts, sicknesses, anything of that such, and anybody that's going to be going through it.
That's right.
All
All right. Hey, man. Hey, so we out of there. Hey,
yeah.
Watch out for them Colts, boy.
Hey, man, them boys is getting it, ain't they?
Watch out for them Colts, man.
I'm telling you, man. I wouldn't doubt if they're right up there, man. They're getting it.
Yeah, man, is they?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Jonathan Taylor running that ball good, man, and